students, welcome back. Let's continue with our scheduling concepts. We are discussing about the basic concepts of the CPU scheduling. So in this video, I'm going to explain why do we need scheduling. Okay, and what are the different scheduling algorithms. I'll just show you what are the algorithms that we are using CPU scheduling and why we are using these CPU scheduling algorithms. What is the reason behind of using different types of scheduling algorithms. Okay, only the basic concept. In the next video, I'll take each and every scheduling algorithms with an examples and the advantages and disadvantages. We will work on more examples. Okay, so then you'll get a clarity on the concept. The main aim of my channel is you have to understand the concept rather than by hearting or rather than just seeing that. Try to understand the concept. So if you understand the concept, automatically you can solve any type of problem. Okay, so now let's start with the concept. A typical process, if you take any typical process, it involves both IO time and the CPU time. IO time means input output time and as well as a CPU time. So if you so in a uni-programming system, suppose if you take a uni-programming system, in a uni-programming system like MS-DOS, time spent waiting for IO is wasted and CPU is free during this time. So the CPU here is waiting for the IO request. Until the IO request is in came, the CPU will not execute its operation. So here the CPU has to be wait for a long time. So here the CPU free, here it is CPU is a free during this time. So this is what I said. So this is in the uni-programming concept. In a uni-programming concepts, like if you take the MS-DOS time, here the time spent waiting for it is more. Suppose in multi-programming, if you take the multi-programming system, one process can use while another is waiting for IO. Suppose here in a multi-programming system, what I am saying here is multi-programming system. Suppose CPU is there. So CPU is working on process P1. So whenever the P1 wants the IO request, means it has to go for the IO request. So whenever it is going out, this P1 is going to the waiting state. Okay, waiting state. So whenever the P1 is went to waiting state, another process P2 will enter into the slot. So here the CPU is not wasting its time. So this is a multi-programming concept. In multi-programming system, one process can use the CPU. So here the one process is using the CPU while another can be waiting for IO also. So P2 is using the CPU and P1 can wait for the IO. So this is possible only with process scheduling. Okay, this multi-programming concept can be worked only with the help of the process scheduling. Now you get a clarity on why we are using process schedulings. That is the CPU schedulings to run our multi-programming system more efficiently. So these are the different scheduling algorithms that we are used here. Let's see before going to see different scheduling algorithms, there are various algorithms which are used by the operating system to schedule the process on the processor in an efficient manner. The process, I'm talking about process on processor. So these process are assigned to the processor. So that can be assigned based on the scheduling algorithms. So who is assigning all these things? The operating system. So that is what I'm saying. There are various algorithms out there which are used by the operating system to schedule the process on the processor in an efficient manner. So let's see what are the purpose of the scheduling algorithm. I said there are different types of scheduling algorithms out there. So before going to see what are the different types of scheduling algorithms, let's see what is the purpose of using these algorithms. First, try to understand the purpose. Then you can easily understand why we are working on that. Okay, so the purpose of scheduling algorithm is maximum CPU utilization. I need to use CPU more efficiently. So means that there should not be any idle time. There should not be any corruptions. Okay. So the maximum CPU utilization time should be there. Fair allocation of CPU. So there should be a fair allocation. Okay, suppose the P1 is going to enter into the process, and again P1, again P1, again P1. So there should be some fair. So because P2 is already waiting in the queue, so let's give a chance to the P2 also. So that is a fair allocation. So that fair allocation of the CPU is also taken care by the operating systems with the help of the scheduling algorithms. Next, maximum throughput. There should be a maximum throughput. What I said, what is the definition of the throughput? I said the amount of unit time the process is executing. Suppose in 1 unit time, for one process here P1, P2, P3 is executed. In another unit time, suppose P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. 5 processes are executed. Here only 3 processes and here 5 processes are executed. Which one is efficient? The second one is efficient. That is a maximum throughput should be there. So you have to configure your operating system in a way that it has to be given a maximum throughput and maximum turnaround time. The turnaround time is also should be the it's a minimum turnaround time. Minimum turnaround time. What is a turnaround time? It's a time interval. The completion time minus arrival time. So this a time interval should be minimum. So minimum turnaround time that should be there. So if I take a concept, the same concept, if I explain in clearly in 1 hour, if I explain the same concept clearly in 2 hours, which one is the efficient one? So the obviously you will take the 1 hour time because the same concept in the same way, everything is the same, nothing is there. So only if I try to repeat, there is no use of that. You will feel bored. So try to maintain a minimum turnaround time. If you take a minimum turnaround time, then you will understand it clearly. You will not get any bore, right? So a minimum turnaround time should be there. Minimum waiting time is also should be there. Try to concentrate on minimum waiting time. If waiting time is less, obviously you will feel happy, I will feel happy, right? So minimum response time. Response time is also should be minimum. Suppose I asked you to attend the class at 3 o'clock. Suppose if you attend at 3:15, I feel very much bad. Means because 15 minutes is wasted. So try to come at least at 3:05. Come at 3:05. So this is a minimum response time. So if I said 3 o'clock, if you respond at 3:05, it's okay. So minimum response rather than 3:15, 3:05 is better, right? So that is the minimum response time. So for these purposes, we are using a different scheduling algorithms. Maximum CPU utilization, free allocation of CPU, maximum throughput, minimum turnaround time, minimum waiting time, and minimum response time. So to decide which process to execute first, so here the problem is arises. Which scheduling technique we have to be do. So to decide which process to execute first and which process to execute last to achieve the maximum CPU utilization, the computer scientists have defined some algorithms. Our thing here is we have to give it a fair chance and we have to give the some all these criteria. You have to follow whatever the criteria I said, the maximum CPU utilization, fair allocation, maximum throughput, minimum turnaround time, minimum waiting time, minimum response time. So if which process shall I assign the first process or shall I assign the last process so that I can achieve the maximum CPU utilization. So for that a different algorithms the scientist has created, that is first come first serve scheduling, shortest job first scheduling, priority scheduling, round robin scheduling technique, multi-level queue scheduling techniques, and multi-level feedback queuing scheduling techniques. So these are the different scheduling techniques, students. In the coming videos, I will explain each and every scheduling technique with examples, with lot of examples. So don't forget to watch the coming videos because those are very important concepts. I will explain step by step manner as well as easy tricks also. Okay. So thanks for watching. Still, if you face any doubts, please let me know. Please like it, subscribe and share my channel. Thank you.